Today's Ukulele Tales is a little bit different from normal, as instead of a single interview, I'm going to show you what it's like inside a local ukulele festival. This episode is sponsored by Carla Brand Music. Visit carlabrand.com/uketeacher to get 10% off anything on the Carla website. I'll be back at the end for a bit of a debrief. In the meantime, enjoy the show.
Are you going on a bus?
I am going on a bus, yes. Oh, I shall need a
Where
mask.
are you going?
I'm going to a ukulele festival.
I'm going out.
Yeah, you can come when you're a bit bigger, okay?
Huh?
You can come when you're a bit bigger. Alright, gang, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye. Bye.
No.
So I've been to quite a few ukulele festivals in my time, and by and large they've been pretty big affairs. There's the LA Ukulele Festival, of course, which is, well, it's in LA, so that gives you some idea of how big it is. I got back from the GNOOF, the Grand Northern Ukulele Festival, a few weeks ago, and that pretty much took up half of Huddersfield Town Centre, with venues across the town over 3 days. And the Austria Ukulele Festival was huge in terms of geographical scope, taking up most of the city of Graz, in the town centre, in classrooms, and up the hills and the mountains. But this is something a bit smaller. The Box Ukulele Festival, Box being a small village just outside Bath, where I live. It's just taking place in a single pub over a single afternoon on a single day, and I'm going to be able to get the bus straight there from pretty much just outside my house. Return to Box, yeah, thank you. Thanks very much.
Ukulele Tales, the ukulele podcast with John Atkins.
Thanks. I just got off the bus in Box, and I can already hear some uke strumming going on. Let's see what's going down. Thank you. Okay, this is terrific. I'm here at the Box Ukulele Festival. It says on my watch that it's 82 degrees, but I think it's significantly hotter than that because my phone has stopped working. So it's a very, very hot day. It's the heat waves in June. And it's funny because, I don't know if you just heard that, there is a cricket game going on one side of the privet hedge, and on the other side is the Queen's Head pub here in Box, a small village just outside Bath, where the Box Ukulele Festival 2022 is taking place. So I'm going to go and head inside and see what's going on.
We got through that one. You're still very quiet, you know. I suppose as the day goes on and you've loosened up, you'll be a bit louder, eh? We've probably got enough time to do one more before the next act is on the main stage. I want to give you enough time to get yourself refueled and comfortable for that one. We'll have a go at this Mama Casa number. This it's getting better. It can only get better as the day goes on, can't it? We hope. We hope indeed. It is. Make sure you keep drinking plenty of fluid, whether it be non-alcoholic or alcoholic, the choice is yours. So stay hydrated.
Would you mind just saying your name and how you'd like me to address you, if that's okay?
My name's Pauline, and addressing me as Pauline is perfectly fine, thank you.
Pauline, that sounds good. Hi, Pauline. Now, we're here at the Box Ukulele Festival, And from my perspective, you appear to be sort of running the stage side of things. Is that what you're up to today?
Yeah, I've been the compere and leading the sing-along songs and just sort of introducing who's on next and then what stage they're on. 'Cause there's two. There's a performance stage and the stage for the open mic and the sing-along. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's been my job role today.
Is this your first time here at the festival?
No, I've been to 2 others before. So this is my 3rd visit.
Your 3rd visit. And whereabouts are you from? Are you local to Box?
No, not at all. I live in a village called Pill, which is the other side of Bristol. So it took us about 50 minutes or so to get here this morning.
Yeah, 50 minutes. I guess it could be worse, though. There are people here, I think, from Cornwall and London. Anyone further afield that you've heard of?
I think there's somebody who's come over from Ireland because they've got friends they've made during lockdown and another event like this. They've kept in touch, so they've come over to have a weekend with them and incorporated this festival. So yeah.
And how long have you been playing the ukulele for?
About 10 years, I suppose, roughly.
Yeah. And how did you get involved with this festival?
Because we have our own festival in the village where I live, the girls come and played, and then when they invited us to here. So this is how
You're talking about the Mother Pluckers?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, the Mother Pluckers came to our music festival, so our ukulele festival, and yeah, so they returned the offer and invited us here. And unfortunately, the band I play in aren't here today, but we have had a slot in in previous Box ukulele festivals. We've had our own performance slot. So, but I just done the comparing today.
You seem to be everywhere that I've turned today. You must be having a really busy day. Is that right?
Yeah, that's why I'm so red. I've had fans go and I've drunk plenty of water because it is just extremely hot here. It's not blood pressure. It's just the heat.
I know, my phone stopped working. It just says it's just too hot. I'm giving up.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Everything's my brain is frazzled now. Yeah.
But aside from the heat, are you having a good day?
Oh, it's marvellous. I'm now going to go and sit down, listen to the band I want to see from St. Mary called The Offshoots from Cornwall, and I'm going to get something to eat because there's some lovely food stalls here as well.
Awesome. I think they're just kicking off, so thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you later. Thank you. Bye.
Making an old lady very happy. Thank you. Oh, I love you girls too. Thank you. Got enough time to go and do anything you need to do and get yourself a drink to refuel. Don't forget there's plenty of food if you're peckish.
Have you guys come from far to be here?
Just from Bristol.
Is it your first one?
In Box.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I've been to and played at a load of ukulele festivals.
You have? Yeah. You play yourself? Yeah. Are you playing today?
We did an open mic set right at the beginning. So.
Oh, right. How did it go?
Okay.
Yeah.
I play the guitar seriously, and the ukulele is just an afterthought. So.
That's how I started, but it sort of switched over after a while. The guitar's always been my instrument, but at some point the ukulele overtook it.
Yeah, I play a lot around the folk clubs and pubs in Bristol. So.
Yeah.
But on guitar, not uke.
Yeah.
Even playing the ukulele, I miss those extra strings.
I know the feeling, right? Yeah, I still play guitar, but not as much as I'd like. I love the bass, actually. Do you play bass at all? Or?
I can play
yeah,
bass.
Yeah.
I played bass, 30, 40 years ago in a band.
I played it when I was at school. I played the double bass for a while, actually, in the orchestra.
Yeah. You don't have to be too precise with that, do you?
No, you don't. But the ukulele's a bit easier to get on the bus, I found. You know.
It'd be totally different if it was pouring with rain.
Yeah, it's such a great atmosphere, and I think a big part of that is the sun.
Yeah.
What is it? I think it's 82 degrees today.
I'm glad you stick with Fahrenheit.
Yeah. I don't know any other way.
Hi, yeah, so my name's Nikki Kelly, and I'm from Dorothy House Hospice, which is a local hospice here in Wiltshire.
Cool, Nikki. So you've come here to the Box Festival, the Box Ukulele Festival today. Is this your first time at the festival?
It is actually, yes, because it hasn't happened for a couple of years with COVID. And before that, I have to say, I hadn't even realised it was on. There's so many great things locally, but this one I think is particularly special because it brings people from what I can gather all over the place. I think there's some people here today from Cornwall. We've got friends come down from London. So it's a real community spirit, bringing lots of amateur players together, but having a great time.
That's amazing. I had no idea people had travelled from so far. I thought it was like a really local thing.
No, I don't think so. As I say, it's my first one, but already I was told by the organisers when I arrived that there's some people come up from Cornwall. As I say, our friends have come from London because one of them happens to play a ukulele. So, yeah, I think it gathers people in from quite a big range.
And where have you come from?
From Bath. So,
Oh, same here.
So, yeah, not too far away.
Cool. So you work with the Dorothy House Hospices, the charity. How did you guys get involved with the Ukulele Festival?
So they chose us as their sort of charity that they wanted to donate to. We have very strong links around Wiltshire. The charity started in 1976, and so we're a great local charity, and I think people quite like that when they are looking for a charity to support. And so many people get touched by the charity, either with a relative or friend that's been involved.
Yeah, you guys, I have to say, as a Bath resident myself, you guys are so visible. I think there's something in like half the streets around me, you know, like a collection box or a house that's putting stuff outside or whatever. So you guys, I'm really aware of your presence. But can you tell me a little bit about what you guys actually do, what you do?
Sure. We've got nearly 400 members of staff. We've also got near enough 1,000 volunteers. And what we do is we basically offer care to people in the sort of last 1,000 days of their life, which it seems a long time, but there can be all sorts of illnesses, not just cancer, but things like motor neurone and other things like that. So we support people right from their diagnosis, but we support their families as well. So it's not just our clinicians that are doing the work, it's also our therapists, our family support team, our spiritual team, our complementary therapists who offer anything from aromatherapy, physiotherapy, all sorts of things of that nature. So it's a big widespread organisation, but essentially it's about looking after people and offering them the best care they can have. Because one of the things we say is that death is a part of life, and it's really important that everybody has that care, whether they're the patient or whether they're the families, etc.
And you were saying just now when you were up on the stage, I guess a lot of people might think it's sort of a gloomy or a sad place, but you said it's actually kind of a cheerful place, or they're cheerful places. Can you expand upon that a little bit?
Absolutely. You have to be of a certain type of person to work there. But the reason it's cheery is because we're trying to do things in a fun way so that people actually enjoy as much as they can. And we have done in the past, weddings there. We've had somebody's horse come in to visit them, other pets. And we just, we try and do fun events so that they can actually feel that there's some enjoyment left as well.
Brilliant. And how are you funded? Is it entirely by donations? Do you have any other way of raising money?
We do have some NHS and government funding, but I think it's something like out of every sort of £5 we have to raise £4 of the pounds, but I'd have to look specifically at exactly the amounts. But certainly most of our funding comes from fundraising. It also comes from legacies, where people often will leave things in their wills for us. And our volunteers, they do a huge amount of fundraising for us. And the other really important thing is our retail shops. We have a lot all across because we cover 700 square miles. That's 550,000 population, and I think in the year up to 2021 we actually looked after 3,000 people. So all of those people are involved, and everybody can support us through either visiting the retail shops, which can be clothes, furniture, books, and supporting us with different fundraising events. And people who do sponsorship things, so they'll throw themselves out of aeroplanes and there's a paddleboarding event coming up. There's always different things that we're doing.
And this festival as well, are you raising money here somehow?
My understanding is the organisers, so this isn't a Dorothy House event, but they have chosen Dorothy House as their charity. So there's people here selling raffle tickets for holidays and for food hampers, and all the money raised is going to Dorothy House, which is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Do you play the ukulele at all yourself, or have any link to it?
I listen to it. No, I don't, unfortunately. You know, it's one of those things that I've never got round to, but they do sound amazing.
Would you be inspired to begin after this weekend?
Oh, who knows, if I had a bit more time.
And just something you were just saying just now when we got here, this pub I was already talking about, there's a cricket match going on right behind us. This is not your first time being involved in the cricket, right?
No, weirdly, years and years ago, I lived in this area and I actually used to help do the cricket tees, and my parents used to play bowls here. So I'm sort of, revisiting somewhere from sort of like 40 years ago. So that's quite strange in lots of ways.
It really is. I was saying, is there anything more English than a ukulele festival, and on the other side of the hedge there's a cricket game going on?
Absolutely, and in fact there's also a vicarage just across from here where the Reverend Audrey lived, and he's the guy that wrote Thomas the Tank Engine.
That's right, you don't have to tell me that twice. My son's actually called Percy, so yeah, I know about that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so no, it's a great place, and as you say, lots of community things going on. But that's why we're so lucky at Dorothy House, because there are lots of the events all across Wiltshire, Somerset, Baines that often have us as their charity, which is fantastic.
Okay, and last question, I guess. If people want to find out a bit more about Dorothy House and how they can help out, what do they need to do? Where do they go next?
If they can, look on our website. There's lots of things on there, lots of information, or ring Dorothy House. There's always people they can talk to. And if you can volunteer a couple of hours a month for something, it doesn't have to be in the shops. It could be speaking to somebody once a month who's a bit lonely and needs some help, or going and doing their shopping, or, we're always on the lookout for people to volunteer for us.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Spider-Man, oh Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web in his eyes and catches thieves just like flies. Look out, there goes the Spider-Man.
I interviewed her on stage, and I sent her manager an email saying, "Can I interview her for the podcast?" And then he emailed me like the day after the festival and was like, "Oh yeah, cool, but I only just got the email, so yeah, so we didn't get her." But but hopefully we'll get her soon. Okay, let me just come a bit near you guys. Cool. I'm here with Bud and Greg of Sad Ken. Now, Sad Ken, I've just seen you guys playing up on the main stage here at the Box Ukulele Festival. Firstly, you guys rocked. No question about that. You guys were awesome. Just in case people don't know who you are, you play heavy metal covers on the ukulele and acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And it works. It sounds awesome.
Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah. Well, my good friend Greg here has been a lifelong fan of heavy metal, and I when I picked up the uke, I would go around his house and play guitar with him, and we just slipped into that because that's where it was at.
The songs just seem to. I mean, the thing is with a lot of the heavy metal songs that we do, we try to strip it of some of the extravagance and just take it back to the core of what makes that song work for us. And the Maiden stuff's perfect because, it's mostly E, C, G, and D, like chord-wise. So, like, you can lock in.
Definitely got these chords down.
And then Bud, when he turned up and he said, "Oh, I've got a ukulele," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, lovely, mate." And then I was expecting him to play, I don't know, somewhere over the rainbow or something. Do you know what I mean? And then he plays the opening lick for the Trooper, and I'm like, "Oh right, we're on. This is something now." So yeah.
Are you guys old friends from years gone by or something? Or
Since I was about 7.
Yeah, competing gangs, not gangs, but groups of
the
friends.
rival gang down the road,
Really?
The
What's
next road along. Grimsbury Road and Baden Road.
If they built a den in the field, we'd smash their den up and they'd smash our den up because, we wanted the den. So anyway, and then we bonded over video games, I suppose when we were a bit older, and then discovered the joys of alcohol, and then it's been a lifelong bond ever since.
Yeah, well, definitely computer games as well, wasn't it? I mean, even from a young age. But I'll tell you what actually is led us to where we are probably, is our love for Guitar Hero.
No kidding, really? You guys played Guitar Hero?
Mate, we love it. We
play it and still played it, still kind of regularly now. But I think that ability to kind of lock in and focus on a song, although the plastic guitar is obviously a game, we're not delusional, but it's like that same joy that we had from playing Guitar Hero together when we started playing real instruments together, it just felt so natural.
Like the real version of rocking out on Guitar Hero. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was just warm up.
And I was like, this is great. We're not just pressing coloured buttons.
Although I do miss getting a high score at the end,
I'll tell you something. I was just at NAMM a few weeks ago, and I met the guy who played the guitar on Guitar Hero, the actual guitar player. I didn't catch his name, but I was chatting to him for like about 20 minutes, and then at the end it felt like wrong to go, "By the way, what was your name again?" So I didn't know who he was, but he was so cool. And it's
Yeah,
like,
I love that.
I was almost more impressed by meeting him than by meeting like the actual guitar players, you know.
Mate, I would love to really pick that guy's mate. It's like, that guy must get it all the time, actually. Just people who've really discovered a love for rock and metal through.
Yeah, I
through
think it's
gigs,
a
you know.
gateway to that world, isn't it? And I think, I'm sure there are kids who like yourself, like, oh wow, I can press these coloured buttons real fast and real in time. So it's the skill, the kind of motor control, the fine motor control in your fingers and the stamina, like that can help. Yeah, I mean, I remember when we recorded Ace of Spades recently, and you were like, how did you keep that rhythm up for like 3.5 minutes? And we looked at each other and went, Guitar Hero. It's got to be.
Yeah. The Ace of Spades, Motorhead.
Yeah, mate. Actually, that goes out to you, that one, mate.
You got that from my tutorial.
Yeah, I got your tutorial, and obviously I thought, oh yeah, so you do that little bit and all that, and I tweaked it slightly because you were just playing on your own, and we got a guitar in the background and all that. But like that, I tweaked with it before, but I couldn't find like the right place on the fretboard for me really. And I seen your tutorial and how you did the alternate. I thought that captures the essence of the song actually.
Funnily enough, watching you guys,
that rhythm
yeah.
of the song, that ding ding
Yeah.
ding 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 ding. And I thought, oh, that works for me, like, because we've got him. He's basically playing Lemmy's bass part. On
Yeah,
guitar, like.
I mean, in terms of the way I support the uke in the context of that, like I do see the acoustic guitar as essentially the bass instrument, and very often if I'm figuring out a song, I think about what the bass guitarist is doing, because I'm rare just provide the bottom end, and then the uke should sit in that mid to high point in the sound. So, hopefully, although we're playing a ukulele festival, and why you brought a guitar along, the guitar's there to support the uke, really.
Yeah, I was thinking you sort of take a bit of a back seat instrumentally, right? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think of in this context, Bud's uke playing is like the lead guitar player in a rock band. So Bud's the uke star, and I'm there just to I'm not just a paid employee, but I mean, I'm there to support that, and then with the vocals just.
I mean, you know nearly all the lyrics before we've even played the songs anyway from your misspent youth.
Yeah. I mean,
so
these songs are ingrained. I think
that
that's the
would be
other
an effort for me to learn all those lyrics, mate.
I mean,
Like,
to
so
be fair, I
I'm
think
pleased.
that's another reason why we settled on doing heavy metal covers, is because like these songs are kind of ingrained certainly in my DNA. Like we have to go and reload lyric sheets or something. And to be fair, there's probably loads of lyrics I get wrong because I'm just basically remembering it
And
from.
there's verses we miss out as well, don't
Yeah,
we? Some of these songs are like 7-8 minutes long, and that's not really.
Yeah, you got to keep things moving at these festivals, right? This weekend I'm doing Metallica, by the way.
I saw your Metallica video, and that is, I said to
We
my
discussed
friend
this at
before I
practice
met
on
you,
Thursday.
I
We
said,
discussed it, yeah.
He's bringing out a tutorial for that Master of Puppets, and that'll get me pretty much halfway there, I reckon.
Yeah, well, when I filmed, I did like a YouTube short for it a week or two ago, and then people were like, oh, do a tutorial. And I was like, I guess I probably better learn how to play it properly. And I looked up, it's like 220 BPM. And I got the the metronome, and it nearly killed me, honestly. Like,
I think James Hetfield on the original plays that all in downstrokes as well. So he's famous for the ultra precise downstroke technique. So, but that's one of the great things about what we try to do is, as you said, you listen to the song. And you try and find, well, I can't do that. There's no point in trying to replicate it perfectly. But how can we Stad-Kenify it in a sense? So what bits do we cut? What bits do we keep? Rhythmically, and we tend to find this kind of, although a lot of the Maiden stuff's in this galloping kind of horse-like kind of triplet rhythm, like we kind of settle on this kind of bouncy, I don't know, like almost folky.
Yeah, like folky, punky. I mean, we punk it up a little bit because we simplify it, don't we? You know what I mean?
It's got that
But
folk punk metal thing. What we're trying to do is make the Sad Ken version of it, and and it creates something quite distinctive between the uke, the vocals, and everything like that. So it's been a great learning experience.
and when did you start? When did you start playing together?
Well, we applied to play the Bristol Uke Festival 3 years ago. All we'd done then is we had a little version of Spider-Man and a version of Run to the Hills that we'd just sat on your crusty old sofa and recorded with a mobile phone and sent in. She went, you guys can play.
So I added detail there, yeah, very crusty.
I won't ask any follow-ups about the sofa, but so you guys have been playing for 3 years or so together, but you've had COVID and stuff. Is that what's?
In fact,
that festival got cancelled, the one we were supposed to play at, and then this year I was like, oh, do you still want us to play? And obviously, like between lockdowns and all that, we've had sort of nights where, like, you know, the kids have actually gone away and some of us has got the house to ourselves, and we're like, come on over, we'll have a few beers, play loads of uke, and we've sort of developed the songs from that, really, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, it's a set born out of just that kind of like drunken friendship in a way. You know, it's what do you like to play, have a couple of beers and rock out with your mate, and hopefully that again, like when we were on stage earlier and I looked over at him and I saw him smiling away playing his little uke, and I just had a big beaming smile on my face because, you know, it's my best friend and we're sharing this together, and it's a beautiful thing.
Talking of Guitar Hero, well, that's where Electric Eye came from, wasn't it? It's the final song on Guitar Rock the 80s, and we must have spent about 3 or 4 hours trying to do this song to finish it, like. And we didn't. I went, but it's a great song, isn't it? And then we didn't really think it would transpose to uke really well, and we sort of left it on the back burner because we couldn't really work out how it would work. And then all of a sudden we came up with something, and we were like, oh, actually, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the original there's some chord changes we missed out. There's a whole middle section we missed out, but you know, I think the bits of the song that excited us the most, we've managed to translate over. So yeah.
And so now, I guess COVID is, I don't want to say it's over, but like things are certainly opening up again. There's gigs and there's concerts and stuff. What's the future for Sad Ken?
Well, we're gonna basically, I think that's our gigs for the summer. So we're gonna hunker down, apply to some uke festivals for next year, and try and get more songs in the set. Really, we've got, like you say, we've got quite a few. We've sort of half got together.
Yeah, and I think as long as we, you know, I think for us it's just like, whether we're playing live or not, it's like we just love that time together, that sad Ken days, you know, particularly with work and kids. You think like Thursday is practice, that's Sad Ken night, and so God knows what will come out of it. But as long as that's still a bloody good time, then long may it continue. Long live the Ken. I mean, like, it is a bit of a joke, but you know, particularly the Iron Maiden songs. Iron Maiden are popular in a lot of non-English speaking territories. Really big in, you know, like parts of the Middle East, and even they've played gigs in Africa. And I'm not for a moment saying they're like we could, but those songs, you know, they work almost like on a non-English level because the melodies are just so strong. So if some guy in Sri Lanka wants to see an acoustic version of Fear of the Dark by Iron Maiden, then visit Sad Ken YouTube page. Yeah. And there you go, mate. So yeah.
Funny enough, one of my first like gigs, and this is like 10, 11 years ago, it was a charity thing in Hammersmith. I used to live in Hammersmith in London. Yeah. And it was organised by Bruce Dickinson. No way. And so we were playing, it was like my local, like the Hammersmith ukulele group. We played like Bare Necessities or something, and he was just stood in the middle just watching it with his arms folded. But, yeah. So afterwards I posted on my Facebook, I've just played the ukulele for Bruce Dickinson. And what I meant was like I've played it for him, like he was watching me play it. But all of a sudden I was just getting all these messages saying, I can't believe you played it for him. Thinking like I was sort of
on stage, like taking over his uke part.
Exactly. So I got a little bit of like false valor for doing that. But cool. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much, and we'll stay in touch and have a great time here at Box.
Lovely to meet you, mate. I've been watching your videos for a long time. Brilliant, mate.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, man.
Thanks, mate. No, brilliant. Great day.
Cheers. You I need to take the blues away. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
So right now, the Mother Pluckers, I hope I said that right, are just doing a few last-minute sound checks on the main stage here at the Box Ukulele Festival, and it really is starting to get quite crowded now. The courtyard, or I guess the pub car park, which when I got here about 4 or 5 hours ago had maybe 10 or 20 people in, now has got maybe close to 100. People are really turning out here. The weather's still incredible. It's really sunny, and even though it's 6:30 at night, it's still about 82 degrees according to my watch. And again, as I've said all day, it feels even warmer. But there's loads of people, a great family atmosphere. There's little kids, and there are elderly people, and there's pretty much everything in between. And it looks like the Mother Pluckers are ready to go.
Oh, come on, let's go, Mr. Pluckers.
And with that, we'll leave the Mother Pluckers strumming away into the night. What an incredible day that was. So much fun, and everyone was such a delight to speak to. A bit different from normal, but what did you think? Let me know if you like this sort of occasional change up in the format, because I'd love to do more shows like this when the situation arises. And what about you guys? Have you ever been to a ukulele festival? Which one? Where was it? What was it like? Who was there? Did you perform or just watch? Did you go to any workshops or was it all concerts? What about flash mobs? And would you ever go again? I'd love to hear about your experiences, I really would. So drop me an email to uketeacher@grabyouruke.com, and if I get enough responses, perhaps we can put a little show together talking all about you guys and what you think of ukulele festivals. And of course, you can always find me on Facebook, The Ukulele Teacher, and Twitter and Instagram, where I'm just @UkeTeacher. Don't forget, if you'd like to help support this podcast, firstly, you can sign up to my Patreon page, patreon.com/uketeacher, where you'll get early access to the podcasts, as well as occasional bonus footage, such as extra chat with James Hill, 10 Thumbs Pro, Christopher Shannon Davis, and more. But, as I've said numerous times now, the most important thing for me is that people get to hear these shows and enjoy them. So, if you're a part of a ukulele community, a forum, a Facebook page, whatever it is, or maybe you just have a friend or family member who you think might enjoy it, please spread the word. It's a free podcast, and it will always be free, so just let your uke-loving buddies know that every Wednesday there's a free podcast called Ukulele Tales that's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, and wherever else you get your podcasts from. And then we're even. Tell them to have a good rummage around in the archives too while they're there. There's conversations with James Hill, Bernadette Teaches Music, Bagiti Kamalo, Ukulele, lots of good stuff for them to tuck into and enjoy. I'm also working on getting some more guests lined up all the time. And in fact, there's one I am trying to sort out right now. I don't want to jinx anything, but if I pull it off, well, this one, they might be a giant get for me. No clues. So fingers crossed. Funnily enough, I was thinking while I was putting this episode together that I've been really, really blessed to meet and chat with some of the biggest uke names in the world. And everyone has been really cool and friendly. But visiting the Box Ukulele Festival, and by the way, I should probably point out that Box is a small, dare I say it, tiny village of about 400 people in the southwest of England. It reminded me of just how warm and inviting the ukulele community can be at every level. I don't think anyone playing at that festival was a professional musician, but they all put their hearts and souls into the project to make it an unforgettable day for everyone involved. And they also managed to raise over £3,000 for the Dorothy House charity as well. In fact, over the 3 years the festival ran, they've raised nearly 10 grand, which is pretty incredible. Sadly, there's not going to be a Box Ukulele Festival in 2023, but there are lots of small uke festivals out there, all over the UK and the world, so keep an eye out for one near you, and get down to it if you can. Support your local ukulele festival. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week. Lots of people to thank, though, before I go. Firstly, a massive thank you to Claire Toghill and the rest of the Mother Pluckers for putting the Box Ukulele Festival together, putting on a great show, and making me feel so at home and welcome. I know there's not one this year, but I really, really hope you guys will be back for 2024, as I would love to pop down again. Secondly, thanks to everyone during the day who spoke to me. Nikki Kelly from the amazing Dorothy House charity, who was very generous with her time. Pauline, who emceed the event and did a great job of keeping everything moving and ensuring that everyone was having fun. And of course, a big thank you to Sad Ken as well, who are going from strength to strength following the Box Ukulele Festival. And this summer, I'm looking forward to catching up with them at the Bristol Ukulele Festival in July. Thanks to each and every one of you tailgaters for listening and continuing to enjoy the show. And a big thank you once again to our sponsor, Carla Brand Music, for helping to make the show possible. Remember, you can go to carlabrand.com/uketeacher or click on the special link in the show notes for a 10% discount on anything on the Carla website. Like I always say, I love hearing from all of you, So if you ever want to send me an email about anything, my inbox is always open, and I do respond to every message I get. Eventually. Anyway, I've been John Atkins, and I'll be back again next Wednesday with some more great ukulele tales for you. But until next time, I love you all, and I wish you the best.